In Gran Turismo 4, the car icon you see for split times during a race is actually a miniature snapshot of the car instead of just a plain fixed texture. For example, if your car has a wing, you can also see it in the car icon, and this even works when you have replaced the textures of the car.
It's extremely impressive because you would 100% expect this to just be like, the icon that you see in the dealership, for example, of the car. But it actually just makes a miniature version of your car as a snapshot to show in this picture, even if it has liveries, because this proves on the picture that it even copies the texture replacements that you have.
In the DS version of Need for Speed Underground 2, one of the songs that plays in the races contains a rather notable synth sample during the song. If it sounds eerily similar to you, it's probably because you've heard this exact same sample from System Select, the main menu theme of Shadow the Hedgehog. The original source is from Big Fish Audio's Electric Ghetto sample CD. The actor for Bull in Need for Speed Most Wanted is also the voice actor for Taro Kitano in Hot Wheels Accelerator. In TXR 0, both the R30 and R30M features a customization at the roof which adds a gun. Sadly, in the US version, they don't function at all, only in PAL and Japanese releases. There are speed cameras across the map in Tokyo Extreme Racer 0. However, they can be triggered only during battles, and if you end the day, you'll be receiving this message and you will receive penalty points. They are impossible to access chats and rewards in Forza Horizon 4 under the Mixer branch, which was a streaming service like Twitch owned by Microsoft. Mixer got shut down on the 22nd of July 2020 due to struggling to secure a significant market share, thus making everything it had impossible to access. In order to make up for the gigantic quantity of Miatas, which were pretty much the same car with different names, the devs of Gran Turismo 6 added a nifty detail to them. Once resprayed, a hidden racing stripe decal would appear. There are 6 variations and they cannot be seen with the stock colors, only with resprays. In order to celebrate being the very first Vision Gran Turismo car made, the engineers of the Mercedes-AMG Vision GT added the PlayStation square, cross, and triangle symbols onto the inside edges of its headlights. This detail can be better seen by using the photo mode to get closer, present both in real life and in-game. TXR 0, Rage Racer, and Devil May Cry 1 use the same sample sounds. Juice 2 PSP and PS2, the Prototype X has a floating wing, and the Evo 8 doesn't let you put any stickers on it. Well, you can put stickers on it, but they don't show up. You can take interior photos in GT5's photo travel mode by pushing your car on a wall and making your character hump it against a wall by spamming select. Using the same setup, you can also take photos outside of bounds, where you can glitch both your character and your car. You can take some cool and some interesting photos. The first ever racing game to have both RUF and Porsche available is the Dual Test Drive 2, with the game featuring the RUF Twin Turbo aka the CTR and the Porsche 959. One of the trading cards for Criterion's Need for Speed Most Wanted is a Porsche Carrera GT, but this Porsche is not included in Criterion's Most Wanted. The screenshot of the car is taken from Need for Speed Most Wanted 510, which is the PSP version. And also the trading cards for this game in general are weird. 2 of them have full names of the cars that are on the cards. The other 3 have just the brands. In fact, the 911 Carrera S is shown on 2 of the cards. Criterion's Most Wanted 2012 release date is shown as 2005, which aligns with Black Box's 2005 version. There's a hidden off-road section on Nevada Highway in Need for Speed Pro Street for some reason. The DS version of Need for Speed Pro Street has a bug with the body kits. If you apply the 4th body kit variant to a car and then exit into the garage, it will apply the stock body kit instead. If you apply the 5th body kit variant to a car, it will apply the 1st body kit variant instead. In Midnight Club 2, according to the internet, during the development of the game, Kenichi was supposed to have another car, and it's somewhere hinted in the game, alongside the side Coco XS called the SLF 400, which you could have probably won from him. It was cut during the development, however files did remain containing the car, and the only way to restore it and use it is via mods. The Leggera stage in Rally de Europe, while ostensibly based on Rally Sanremo, also features landmarks from other Mediterranean rallies, mainly Rally Catalonia's Costa Brava Villadrua Bridge and Stone Cliff Guards, present in Turini stage of Rally Monte Carlo. In Rally de Africa, if you pick the manual transmission and shift up and down 3 times very quickly, the navigator will say "I love you" with a hard navigator pace note. This is also possible in Rally de Europe, except the navigator doesn't say anything. The Japanese version of TXR0 uses a different font for the word Wanderer. In Juiced Eliminator, there's a lot of illegal names that you mustn't use as a name for your driver. For example, if you try to type the letter K more than 2 times and less than 4 times, you will get the illegal name message. The list of illegal names is quite huge, and it has some weird entries, like you can't use names such as your mom, stupid, Satan, and probably around 200 other words. For Test Drive 456, one of fellow members of Pitbull Syndicate, Chris Kirby, mentioned somewhere on Reddit that music licensing for each Test Drive entry costed around $500,000, meaning the publisher supposedly spent $1.5 million just on getting music into these 3 games. The McLaren F1 Standard, GTR, GT, and LM version are the only cars in the PC Xbox 360 version of Test Drive Unlimited that don't allow you to do the model hitchhiker missions due to the car having 3 seats, where they require you to only have 2 seats. In Namco's MotoGP series, each team for the player is given a number that is mostly edits of existing rider numbers. This results in a coincidence in MotoGP 3, where the number 51 used for Telefonica movie star Suzuki team for the player was actually real. Yukio Kagayama used a 90% exact number font when he substituted for a recovering from surgery Kenny Roberts at the 2002 German Motorcycle GP. Driver San Francisco has some interesting cut content, like this Bentley Mulsanne 2010 and some drivable roads that are locked in the final game. You can check out more of the cut content in this video right here. In Test Drive Unlimited 2, the Ferrari 458 Italia is only available in the PC PS3 release of the game, not being available on the Xbox 360 release. Instead, it got replaced by the 2010 Spiker C8 Aileron. This was due to the fact that Microsoft owned the exclusive rights for the Ferrari 458 Italia for the Xbox 360 and was about to use it for Forza Motorsport 4. Fishtailing is a technique that was fairly common in Midnight Club 2 back when its online multiplayer existed. By holding handbrake while moving left and right, the car ends up increasing its speed. This was best done on a keyboard. In several Need for Speed titles, the theaters and games show off that a Need for Speed movie is airing, which is funny considering that for the series' 20th anniversary, there would be a movie around the short exotic cars revival. In the DS port of Pro Street, you can actually activate Speed Breaker using the select key in grip races, and you can rewind if you hold down the select key in speed races. This is a carryover from Carbon Own the City, as Exian, the dev studio that was responsible for porting Carbon Pro Street to the DS, used the same engine for both games. Burn and Rubber 4's web version has a glitch where the final boss would despawn, thus giving the player an instant victory before it even started. This was fixed in the standalone version. In Burnout Legends, when you have an accident, you will hear a faint heartbeat and strange sounds of discomfort. The Pac-Man Mobile in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds was from the Japanese mobile racing game Drift Spirits. Said vehicle was based on Pac-Man's car from Ridge Racer 5. In the intro video of Midnight Club 3, they show a 1969 Pontiac GTO, but the game doesn't have that car in the game. The game does contain the 1968 and the 1970 models. Most people already know this, but in most of the black box era Need for Speed games, if you turn off the music in those games, they start playing ambient noises in the background to make the game feel alive without any music, so that the player won't just sit there in silence. The ambient noises are all in the same file as the music. In the PS2 version of Test Drive Unlimited, there's a secret hole in the walls of both airports on Oahu that allows you to drive inside them without the need of jumping over the fence or using glitches such as the PC 360 version and TDU2. In TXR 0, Street Gambler's car has a decal that says SF Good Bitch, which is a parody of the real-life tire brand BF Goodrich. In Dakar Desert Rally, you can find a UFO under the military base, and also the whole Dakar 18 bivouac. In the initial version of Gran Turismo 5 Prologue, the color of the stripes paired with Viper Race Yellow and the Viper GTS02 was white. From Spec 2 onwards, it was changed to black. Same for GT5 and later, so yellow and white stripes is now a precious combination. A fun fact about the Ridge Racer Revolution Galaga minigame: if you simultaneously press L1, R1, select, triangle, and down while ships are on the screen, your ship will fire an automatically tracking laser that destroys them all. Doing this to get the perfect rating in the minigame will still unlock every non-boss vehicle to race with, but will also activate a unique mode for the cars, giving them smaller bodies and large wheels, which is a reference to another game from Namco's history known as Rally X. The announcer will also become higher pitched, as if being portrayed by a child.
3, 2, 1, go! Great start! Now go for the lead! 3 laps to go!
In Test Drive Eve of Destruction, most cars in the same class share the same engine sounds, except for the School Bus, Prince, and Arrow. Back in 2010, BlackBerry created a tablet to compete with the Apple iPad. Interestingly, a version of Need for Speed Undercover was also ported to it, and it was advertised on the box itself, and it was based on the iOS mobile ports. In Ride 3, you can briefly become invincible by rewinding just before the camera changes and the crash animation starts. With this trick, you can save some nasty falls, and you can even parkour on tracks with sidewalks. F109 was the first mainline F1 game to be released on mobile smartphones, with the second game being 2010, using the same base for 1 year earlier. F1 2011 also used the same F109 base for its 3DS and PS Vita ports. If you play Midnight Club 2 for long enough in one session, weird background noises will start playing. You can't turn it off, and it keeps getting louder with time. The only way to get rid of it is to reboot the game. Apparently this happens when one of the ambient sounds bugs out and infinitely loops. Rockport is probably one of the most reused maps throughout the entire series. It appears in Most Wanted 05, Carbon OTC, Undercover PS2, and a few others. In Juiced 1, the focus glitch or the civic glitch in Eliminator occurs when entering certain sprint races in which the AI has no possible cars they can use. In this state, the game falls back to giving all opponents stock 2004 Focus ZTSs in the original Juice and stock Honda Civic SIs in Eliminator. When running the PC versions of Juiced 1 and 2 at a resolution beyond 1600x1200, the font files will no longer scale up properly and will progressively become smaller with higher resolutions. In Juiced 2, the text on license plates will grow in size. This is due to a limitation in how the PC port handles fonts. Found in this directory of both games, every .d8f file has several copies designed for different horizontal resolutions. No font file exists for resolutions beyond this, thus this font scaling issue occurs. There's a one frame window as you're crossing the finish line at the end of a race where you can leave from the pause menu and the race will still count as completed. This is arcade speedrunning tech as it stops you from having to watch the post-race sequence, but the race still gets marked as completed. The meshes for the second and third spoiler for the Mustang 99 GT are mixed up between the menus and in-game. Applying one of these spoilers in the workshop will result in the other one loading in a race. This can be seen by entering the dynamo meter. A mod has been made to fix this for the PC version, which I'll link in the description. When applying the new UK front bumper on the Falcon XR8, the right half of the Ford badge on the grille somehow mirrors over the left side. Juiced on PC gives you more steering angle compared to console. Cars just turn more, which exacerbates the problem of rear-wheel drive cars being twitchy and hard to control. On the flip side, front-wheel drive cars handle better with more steering. In Burnout Paradise, when you enter a stunt run event, exit while your car's drifting, you will notice that your car's handling has become extremely poor.